Get up, get out, get out. Get up, get out, get out. Get up, get out, get up, get out. Get up, get out.
What's up? This is VINCEBRACY, the host of Aux Chord Poppy Radio on Stationhead, Monday through Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. I had the pleasure of talking with my good friend Donnie Bosco, a musician from New York, about his music and his most recent album. Enjoy the interview. All right. So what can you tell us about just how this song or this project came about?
Oh, bet. So it's called Get Up, Get Out. Basically, it's a song that features my very good friend Sarah Alacina, dope singer. And basically, the whole project came about as kind of like a therapy for me, because I actually was involved in a really, really bad car accident that I almost lost my life. So it affected a lot of things for me, and it was one of the few things, like writing music was one of the few things that was actually giving me any type of mental relief, from that going on in my life. So in any case, the song itself is kind of like a message to myself: get up, get out, and love. Like, you may not be able to do anything else, but what you should and could be able to do, or should do in this instance, is get up, get out, and love. You know what I mean? So I think it was one of the first songs that just came to me. My writing process is kind of all over the place, but most of the tracks in the album just kind of, I woke up with them in my head. So
That's good.
yeah. So I think y'all gonna like it.
Let's get into it right now. Once again, I've been calling it R&B. I don't know if you have a genre for it, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But once again, like you said, a very inspiring song. Basically it's self-explanatory, letting you know that you have to get up and you have to get out. And it was supposed to be inspiring for not just yourself, but other people as well, right?
Right. So one of the things that I've always kind of maintained, I'm an educator. I teach music, and one of the things I've always maintained is trying to use your own personal experiences to empower other people.
Right.
It's like, if I've made a billion mistakes in my life, if I can try to explain what those mistakes are, or those trials are, and how I got over things are to my students, they're going to have an easier life. That's just how it is. Especially if they heed the instruction. So it's kind of like, when I thought about this, I thought about not putting it out. It's very personal. It's like, yo, Don, like, you've been at home in bed depressed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got to get up and get out. Like, yeah, like, I want people to understand that, yo, you have complete power and control over everything in your life. You know what I mean? Nothing can stop you.
And not only that, but we have talked about stuff like this before. And obviously, you're not just an artist that I'm interviewing. You're an actual friend of mine. So we've been speaking throughout your whole ordeal and stuff like that. And I've even told you about issues that I've had about not getting up and getting out. So definitely feel the song, especially. And I tell people all the time, any song that has to do with motivating people, and specifically if it speaks to me, then I can all the way be down with it. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm very happy that you put out a whole project and you found the time and the strength to do that. So would you say that all the songs? I think I've listened to the project 2 times in whole, like all the way through. Would you say that every single song, or most of them at least, are something, like you said, directly pulled from your experiences, and something that you wanted to say to yourself as well as to other people?
Yeah. So the good thing about the thing that I enjoyed really a lot about this process is that almost all the songs are, kind of not about love, and I wrote it in a way that could be relatable to people, because most songs are about love or about
right.
personal interest. But I wanted to write it in a way that we can use some of those motifs and themes of our everyday love lives. But how do I apply that to the specificness of my situation?
Right.
So, like, for example, Dream for Two, which is the second song on the track, for me, is more about the chase of the American dream. You know,
Ooh.
I don't know if dreams come true, but if it did, it'd be with you. Maybe a couple kids or two. Maybe. It's just about the American dream, and it's about how, for whatever reason, like our dreams, our biggest dreams, sometimes feel like it's impossible. And that biggest dream might just be as simple as having something come true, as like having a happy family, having, bills that are affordable and manageable, being able to give charitable to without hurting yourself,
Ooh.
seeing your growth in your community. Like Dream for Two is really more about those things as opposed to straight a love song like "Girl, I wanted to have a life with you." Now,
Right.
granted, I do relate to those things as well, so it's kind of like a double entendre. But the actual, deeper meaning behind it is my frustration of trying to chase the American dream, quote unquote, the American dream.
Yes. No, that's deep stuff, man. It's deep stuff. And I'm glad you brought up like the specificities of like the lyrics and stuff. So cuz I wanted to ask you personally also, how much writing did you do on this album? Like all the parts that are sung by other people, are these I know you took time to be in the
So
studio with them.
I would say about 99%. There was a verse, like for example, Is Nate, who's on the majority of the songs. He wrote a few of his own verses. I think he wrote Master Plan, his verse on Master Plan.
Okay.
But for the most part, the roles of the performers were mostly arrangement and just trying to fit things in melodically. There was a lot of melodic things that were changed by some of the artists. They were like, I don't really like that. I'm like, okay, but let's try it. Sometimes we found the middle ground, sometimes we didn't. But yeah, the writing, as far as lyrically, everything lyrically on the album is representative of how I feel about something.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And I was another thing I was curious about. So just for everybody that's in here right now, so Donnie Bosco, not just a friend of mine, but also my former choir instructor in college. So I always felt like arrangements was like your thing. So would you say in this project as well, was that like where you were like the most excited to get to work?
Yeah. So it's funny because my for me, it's not so much about what kind of music you do. It's really more about the directions that you choose with your music, right? So if there was quite a few tracks that I specifically was said, nah, that needs to be the arrangement.
Okay.
That needs to be no, you have to put that in there. I think one of the last things that we actually changed, as far as arrangement goes on the album, was actually Walking on the Outside. Which is a song sung by Moses. And the chorus is dope, the verses are dope, but I just felt it was missing something. It was missing something like a chant of some sort, like maybe a post chorus. So that was one of the last things that we put in. Completely transformed the song. So, arrangement is one of those things I think is probably one of the most enjoyable things for me as a musician, seeing the final product and seeing how we could tell a story with the final product.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's very, very beautiful, man. All right, so we talked about the project as a whole. All these artists that you have on the project, people that you've come across in your time as a musician.
Right.
That's cool.
I don't think there was anybody who I reached out that I didn't know or I didn't like. Like literally everybody on the album, I'm a fan of.
That's good.
Donald King, DR King, who was on The Voice. We've done a bunch of gigs together. Great singer. Is Nate. He puts out music like every Monday. Crazy. Like if you are into dope new music, you guys should check out Is Nate, because he literally puts out music every Monday. It's really freaking amazing.
Every Monday. Is Nate.
Yeah. Right.
Is it _ISNATE? On Instagram?
Yeah, _ISNATE.
There you go.
He does something called Music Mondays.
All right. And
so that's really cool.
So I think one of my last questions I just wanted to ask, so would you consider this So I usually like, depending on like how well I know the artist, I try to like decide what to call them. So for our interview, I don't know if you noticed, I put you as Donnie Bosco, the musician. I didn't want to put New York musician or jazz artist or R&B artist. What would you consider your genre?
So that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for that. I I thought long and hard about what it was that I was listening to when I was writing and making this stuff.
Mm.
And I must say, it doesn't fit into any genre cleanly that I've been exposed to in my life. I used to think when I first put it out, when I first started putting all the songs together, I was going to call it dance music, but it's not quite just dance music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just music that you know. So I had to think like, okay, it's definitely R&B ish. It definitely has neo soul, jazz in it.
Right.
I thought, with the dance component, that was maybe, although it's something that I put to the front, it's not necessarily the overarching feel of the album. So I said, I think it's called neo R&B.
Okay.
Right? Like
that's a good word for it too.
New way of approaching R&B, which is utilizing completely different elements that you wouldn't utilize before. There's lots of African drums in on the record. There's lots of random rock, drums on it. Lots of random jazz. There's like lots of different elements, and it just fits so well.
I know you took some time with all that.
Singers on each track can bring out. So I would call the album neo R&B.
Neo R&B.
That would probably not stick. We're gonna make it stick.
As it evolves, as the project, it's only been out for about a week or so, right? So more people will get to hear it. Definitely encouraging everybody that's in here right now. Thank you for being a part of the interview. Please hit that plus button next to the name of the song so you can bite the song to your station, so you can have it and listen to it on your own time, and also share it with as many people as you possibly can. But at this time, once again, we got Donnie Bosco, a musician from New York. You consider yourself from New York, right? You've always been New York, born and raised, right? Or Jamaica?
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, do you claim Jamaica as well?
No, of course. What? You don't claim me. I claim that.
All right. So if you could just introduce us, give us like a synopsis of Everything Is Fine Today before we finish up and get into this next song.
Bet. So actually, this is one of my personal favorite songs on the album.
Yes.
It's honestly a lot of people's favorite song on the album, and the reason why I think is because the message is easy. The message is simple.
Yeah.
Everything right now today is fine. Everything in this moment right now is fine, and I pray that it's true. Right. This idea that the things that we go through aren't really that big of a deal to interact or to intercept another moment of your life. It's like most of the things that we go through happen in a split moment, right? I got hit by a tractor trailer. It happened in a split second. No warning, nothing, right? In that moment, nothing was fine. But I woke up the next day, I was alive. And although I was in, excruciating pain and all that good stuff, I'm alive. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You have another chance to make everything fine.
Crazy.
And specifically at the end of the record, I put a little surprise on it. I hope everybody kind of takes the message, and I hope it helps you like it helped me.
I was gonna ask. I was like, was it, I don't want to give away the surprise, but can you say who that was?
Yeah, that's who you're thinking.
All right. I wasn't sure. I was like, she have an accent like that? All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But yeah, let's get into the song. Once again, as you heard, this is a good friend of mine, Donnie Bosco, who's an artist from New York. He's been doing music for I would say his whole life almost, just because as long as I've known him, which has been, I want to say is at least, how long we know each other, man? Is at least, would you say 10 years now?
I graduated Lehman like 25. So it has to be at least 10 years. So.
It has to be
at least 9 years.
At least nine, because it's 2019. I think I've known you since 2010 probably. Yeah, man, it's life, man, in itself.
You're getting old.
But yeah, man, and blessed to be getting old at that. So like you guys heard, Donnie Bosco, I mean, everybody has that moment. I guess Kanye had the same thing, where this is my guy right here, man. He was involved in a very bad accident. He said he got hit by a truck, and he was at a time where everything wasn't fine. But he, like I said, he built up the strength to come back and bring everything full circle and get back to doing what he loves, which is creating music. And the next song I'm about to play for you guys is called "Everything Is Fine Today." But yeah, Donnie, man, I appreciate you for being a part of the show. I'm glad I could get you on Stationhead. I hope you get to check it out in your free time and share your music with other people. Check out other shows and stations and stuff like that, and maybe even play your own stuff on your own station. But
I think I'm gonna check it out. It's pretty cool.
But if you have any last minute shout outs or anything like that before we get into the song.
I want to shout you out, bro. Vince, yo, bro. For as long as I've known you, you've been hustling. You've been hustling on a different level, bro. Like your energy and your work ethic is unparalleled.
Yeah,
I am trying to bite your style. Like, I want to give you like a shout out, bro. Like what you're doing is amazing.
Word.
Your consistency, your passion, please, like lessons, bro.
Blessings indeed, man. I appreciate that, Don. And once again, I cannot forget to mention Donnie Bosco also has a clothing line called Lofty Ambition. You guys have probably seen. I think I have a picture of me on IG wearing his Black History Year sweatshirt, and I think he's got other shirts and stuff that you guys could check out on his Instagram page, Donnie_Bosco, or also DonnieBosco.com. But without further ado, thank you again for being a part of the show, bro. Everybody, do me a favor, please follow Donnie Bosco right now. But yes, we're gonna get into his next song called "Everything Is Fine Today."
Everything is fine today, and I'm hoping that it stays this way. Born in Miss America, miss you while we drifted.
Thank you for listening to this interview. Don't forget to check out my show every Monday through Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. live on Stationhead on the station VINCEBRACY. If you or someone you know would like to be interviewed, shoot me a message on my Instagram at VinceBracy, and don't forget to download the Stationhead app today.
A dream, don't wake me up, girl. If this whole thing's a lie, won't ask no questions, and I won't make you lie to me. Ooh, yeah. Everything is fine today. Everything is fine today. Ooh, everything is fine today, and I'm hoping that it stays this way.